Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the part 3 of the anniversary campaign and how you can get your hands on not only over 230 stones but also just recap all of the new content that has come to Dokkan battle as part of part 3. So we'll start with the missions. We've covered these already in a separate video because these pertain to the final 11 tickets for the 77 ticket summon. The missions are fairly straightforward, most of them centering around the new Extreme Z area, and they want you to do that so you can Extreme Z awaken the 2 new free-to-play units. So it's a fairly simple procedure. The rest of it is mainly completing missions, doing stage attempts a certain number of times, so it's not really anything too crazy. You do want to obviously give it your best shot, but you should be more than fine to give it a really good go. Now outside of that, obviously there are some missions for having 3 Martian Brew Saga units, 3 Shadow Dragon Saga units on the team. These are fairly straightforward. So you want to complete these because these will give you 5 stones, but they'll also give you those final sets of tickets, which is probably what most players are looking at completing these for. Now if we take a look at the content that has popped up, there's quite a fair bit of content that will be coming and has currently been made available. So the big one right now is the Extreme Z area. There's been a new Extreme Z area added in for the 2 free-to-play units. We then also have a couple new missions for the Spirit Bomb Technique stage, which is really great. So that's going to be a ton of fun to do. Some new missions regarding categories and attempts and turn attempts and everything. Then we also have the Shadow Dragons event, which is going to be pretty cool as well. A new mission there and a new stage against Sin Shenron. Explosive Chain Battle has come out. I have a guide on how to score high in that as well, which you can see. And then we have 2 new Extreme Z battles coming at a later stage, alongside as well Burst Mode for the appropriate Dokkan stages. So pretty cool stuff. Alongside that, there's also a new event that will pop up, the 8th Anniversary Battle Challenge stage, which is a huge event that drops a massive amount of stones, alongside as well some really cool new skill orbs. So yeah, pretty big stuff. The rest of the content remains the same. We will not be receiving any more new summonable units for the duration of the anniversary. So it's pretty good time to consider whether you want to start saving or summoning on the Annie. So in terms of the Explosive Chain Battle, pretty simple stuff, honestly. Super duper straightforward here. I've covered it already quite extensively. So you can scope out that video. It would have popped up in the top right hand corner a bit earlier in the video, so you can take a look there and you should have a pretty good time there. It's quite easy to score relatively high, and that's a decent chunk of stones as well. Now in terms of the new content that has been added, mainly in terms of challenge content. So starting with some new additions, the Extreme Z area stages and missions. So these are going to rely on you Extreme Z awakening the Babidi and Vegeta standby skill unit, alongside as well the physical Hercule unit, who's also a pretty good unit. So nice 2 new Extreme Z awakening stages, pretty straightforward though, super duper simple. We'll cover it in a separate video. And then of course you also have the, how can I say, we have, the new Shadow Dragon stages and new Extreme Z awakenings. So the 2 easy Bs or Extreme Z battles for Gogeta and Vegito are not currently available. They'll be available relatively soon, in a couple days. So you can keep your eye out there, but they're not currently available, so maybe finish up any you haven't finished for the Extreme Z battles. Then in terms of other additional content that we have, we do have obviously some updates. Firstly, to the Spirit Bomb Technique event, we have some new stages here, some new challenges to do, so pretty fun. And then we also have, in terms of the Shadow Dragons event, a new update. So these 4 new missions, I should say, for this event, some are relatively simple, like beating it with category characters, and then some are relatively difficult, finishing it with, for example, certain turn requirements. So it's a pretty interesting stage, I want to say, or event. Beyond that, relatively straightforward. Nothing too crazy. The new Shadow Dragons event, there's a new stage, along with also some new category requirements in terms of beating the stage. So beating the stage under special conditions, etc. And this should unlock the new support memory as well. So pretty cool little addition. Obviously quite a tough stage as well, I believe, against Sin Shenron. But we will take a look at that in a separate video. So all pretty good stuff so far. Beyond that, that is the main thing there. A couple stones there, 11 in total if you include the mission. So again, also some pretty good stuff without being overtly excessive, without being a crazy little adjustment. Now, beyond that, that kind of covers all of the current content, I think, at least in general. The big one is going to be this new stage that will be coming out relatively shortly, and that is the 8th anniversary challenge stage. Now, this stage isn't out yet, but it will be out in a couple of days, and this stage is pretty big. It's bringing with it big new skill orb equips for the previous anniversary units, all of them, which are going to make them way better, and it also drops a huge ton of stones. We're talking 80 stones in total, and it's quite a few stages, so it's a fair chunk of content. It's quite cool. I think it's pretty rad how they're making it work, and yeah, it's something that's really, really good in general. We'll see how relevant these skill orbs make the units again, but it's going to be a pretty interesting time nonetheless. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And then obviously in terms of summons, not too many, but the big one is you can now perform your 77 summon ticket, which is obviously really, really cool. And some of the other anniversary banners are still up and standing, so you can give them a go. That's basically going to be it from me. See you next time. Bye.